Ethan Morales barely looked up from his phone when the flight attendant's sharp voice cut across the cabin. "Sir, this section is reserved for premium passengers. You'll need to move to the back." Her nameplate read Lauren Pierce, and her tone carried the authority of someone who is used to being obeyed without question. Ethan wore faded jeans, a plain hoodie, and carried a scuffed leather briefcase. Nothing about him suggested wealth or influence. To everyone watching, he looked like just another economy passenger trying to sneak into first class. Lauren tapped her tablet against her palm. "Sir, I'm talking to you. Wrong seat. Let me see your boarding pass." Calmly, Ethan held it out. "Seat 1A. First class." Lauren frowned, scanning it as though it must be forged. "That has to be a mistake. Identification, please." Phones came out instantly. A young woman 2 rows back, already live-streaming under the handle at Jet Witness, typed furiously. "This man's being harassed before the plane even leaves the gate. Flight 729 to Chicago. You won't believe this." Another attendant, Emily Brooks, joined Lauren. "What's happening?" Lauren said, loudly enough for half the cabin to hear. "This gentleman is confused about his seat. Claims he's supposed to be up here." Ethan kept his voice even. "There's no confusion. I booked first class weeks ago. Please check your system." Lauren stabbed at her tablet again. Her face didn't soften. "Our records show you purchased an economy ticket. You'll need to take your proper seat." "That's not correct," Ethan said quietly. He held out his phone with the mobile boarding pass displayed. "First class. 1A. Paid in full." A man in 2A, gray-haired and impatient, leaned forward. "Son, stop making a scene. Just sit where you belong." Lauren gave a tight nod. "Exactly. Mistakes like this happen when people don't know the booking process." Ethan inhaled slowly, then pulled a platinum card from his wallet, placing it on the tray. 340,000 miles with Horizon Airways. 6 consecutive years at platinum. Lauren barely glanced at it. "Anyone can order one of those online. Sir, this is your last chance. Move or we'll have you escorted." At Jet Witness's stream was already climbing past 500 viewers. Caption: "Passenger in first-class seat told to move to coach despite valid ticket. Horizon Airways, 2025. The captain himself emerged then, Richard Hanley, crisp uniform pressed, silver hair perfect. "What's the problem?" Lauren didn't hesitate. "Passenger refuses to move. Belongs in coach." Captain Hanley looked Ethan up and down. "Hoodie. Sneakers." His judgment was immediate. "Sir, you're holding up departure. Take your real seat now." Ethan held up his documents without raising his voice. "Captain, here's my ID, my boarding pass, and my account status. This is my assigned seat." Hanley didn't look at them. "I've flown for 20 years. I can spot someone scamming an upgrade. Miss Pierce, call ground security." The cabin murmured. Phones rose higher. A woman in 3B started recording openly. A businessman stopped typing and stared. Ethan quietly started recording on his own phone. "For the record, it's 2:47 p.m., Horizon Airways Flight 729. I'm being asked to leave my paid first-class seat despite proper documentation." Hanley's jaw tightened. "Put that phone away. You're disruptive." "I'm documenting discrimination," Ethan said. Lauren was already on her radio. "Ground. We need security at gate 17. Passenger refusing instructions." The older man in 2A muttered, "Just go to coach, buddy. Don't make it worse." But the woman in 3B raised her voice. "Wait, he showed you his pass. Why won't you check it properly?" "Ma'am, please don't interfere," Lauren snapped. "This man bought economy and wants a free upgrade. We've seen it before." "How do you know that?" she pressed. Lauren's answer was curt. "Experience." The word hung in the air. Like a verdict. Ethan's phone buzzed. He answered briefly, voice low. "Start without me. I'll handle this personally." The captain overheard. "Who exactly are you handling?" Ethan didn't answer. He typed instead, his composure steady. At Jet Witness tweeted again. "Security on the way. Passengers still calm. Crew doubling down. This feels ugly. Two officers boarded, Mark Rivera and Dana Liu. Rivera asked, "What's going on?" "Wrong seat. Won't move," Hanley said briskly. Being disruptive. Rivera studied Ethan. The man sat quietly, ID and boarding pass ready. Rivera inspected them carefully. "This says seat 1A. First class." "It's fraudulent," Lauren cut in. "People can fake these." "Ma'am, these generate from your system," Rivera replied, skeptical. "Well, these people know how to cheat," she said before she could stop herself. The words sliced through the cabin. Phones captured every syllable. Even those who hadn't cared were now staring. Ethan didn't react outwardly. He met Rivera's eyes.
Rivera understood.
He'd heard these people too many times. "Sir," Rivera said gently, "would you step off so we can verify with the gate?" Ethan rose without resistance. He collected his briefcase, phone still in hand. A text lit the screen. Board meeting moved to conference room A. The woman in 3B saw it and frowned. What kind of board meeting would an economy passenger know about? The departure board updated. Delayed 23 minutes. Gate supervisor Helen Ward arrived. 12 years at Horizon, she carried herself with authority. She examined Ethan's documents with exaggerated care. "Mr. Morales, everything seems in order. But given the crew's concerns, we'll reseat you in coach." Ethan kept his tone steady. "What concerns?" "I was sitting quietly in my assigned seat." "You argued with staff," Helen said firmly. "I provided proof while they ignored it." She crossed her arms. "Take the coach seat or the next flight. Your choice." At Jet Witnesses, stream crossed 2,000 viewers. Caption: "They kicked him off. He showed proof. Still forced to coach." Hashtag Horizon bias trending. Crowds gathered near the gate. More phones lifted. A teenager streamed on TikTok. A businessman updated his LinkedIn feed with the hashtag. Ethan asked, "May I speak with your district manager?" Helen laughed lightly. "Sir, I'm the senior authority here." "Then I'll escalate," Ethan said. "Online complaint forms are available," Helen replied, dismissive. But passengers weren't staying quiet anymore. The woman in 3B stepped forward. "I saw everything." He was quiet. He showed his ticket. "Why is he being punished?" A man from first class added, "The attendant never checked properly. She just assumed." Phones recorded. Murmurs spread. Helen felt control slipping. "Coach or exit, Mr. Morales." Ethan dialed again, speaking briefly, calmly. Those close heard. Emergency board meeting. Conference room A.
Now.
Passengers exchanged puzzled looks. "Board meeting," someone whispered. Then Ethan pulled a card from his case and handed it to Helen. Her eyes went wide. "Ethan Morales, Chief Executive Officer, Morales Global Holdings." Gasp swept the gate. Dr. Voss whispered, "Oh my God." The businessman frantically Googled. "He's worth billions." A Jet Witness screamed into her stream. "He owns the airline." Chat, do you hear this? Viewers exploded with comments. Plot twist. They messed with the wrong guy. Helen's hand shook. "Mr. Morales, this doesn't." "In 2 minutes, you'll get a call from headquarters," Ethan said quietly. "Answer it." And right on time, her radio lit up. Supervisor Ward, CEO Patricia Langford on the line. "Priority 1. The call went to speaker. Langford's voice boomed. "Is Mr. Morales there?" "Yes, ma'am." "Put him on now." Ethan spoke evenly. "Patricia, I was just denied my seat and humiliated in front of dozens of witnesses. It's trending live. Your stock is already down 1.4%. Dead silence. Then, "Tell me this is a mistake." "Not a mistake," Ethan said. "And by Section 12.3 of our shareholder agreement, this constitutes a material incident. Governance review triggered." The gate erupted with murmurs. Dr. Voss whispered to the businessman, "He's invoking legal clauses. This isn't just drama, it's corporate law." "What do you want?" Patricia demanded. "Immediate accountability. Terminations for those responsible. Bias training for staff. Anonymous reporting system. a $500,000 inclusion fund, and a public apology within 72 hours. You're asking the impossible.
No, Ethan replied.
I'm asking what's necessary. Otherwise, Morales Global divests, and we take our $1.4 million annual travel budget with us. Silence. Then Patricia said, agreed. All of it. The crowd burst into applause. Streams exploded with cheering comments. Ethan raised one finger. One more. Executive bonuses tied to measurable diversity outcomes. Starting with yours, Patricia. The entire boardroom feed went quiet. At last, Patricia said, approved. The gate erupted again. Passengers clapped. Some cried. Sarah and Captain Hanley were escorted away by security. Ethan looked around. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for your delay. But sometimes delays create change. Phones captured every word. Streams climbed past 10,000 viewers. Hashtag Dignity in the Skies trended globally. 3 months later, Horizon Airways unveiled the Morales Protocol, mandatory bias training, anonymous reporting, and executive accountability metrics. Complaints dropped 68% in the first quarter. Other airlines adopted the system. The Department of Transportation codified it into new regulations. At the Civil Rights Museum 2 years later, Ethan delivered the keynote. Change doesn't come from silence, he said. It comes from documentation, leverage, and accountability. The crowd of 800 stood in ovation. Among them was Lauren Pierce, now a diversity consultant, who had once humiliated him but now taught others not to repeat her mistake. Ethan Morales had turned one humiliating moment into systemic reform. He closed with the words that spread across news headlines worldwide. Anger is temporary. Systems change is permanent. And dignity is not optional.